Welcome back. W's in the chat, man. The Browns pick up a big, much needed win, 31 to 6 over the Miami Dolphins. Needed this dub for sure. It was rainy, it was windy, specifically in the first half. The Browns decided to do they thing. Let's go to the box score, man. We're gonna get right into it. Offensively, Dylan Gabriel, 13 to 18, 116, no touchdowns, no picks, sacked twice. The running game, Quinshawn Judkins, 25 for 84, three tugs. The hat trick, Gabriel, 4 for 12, Samson, 3 for 8, Jerome Ford, 1 for 9. Receiving, Fannin led you catches, 36 yards. Thrash 1 for 23. Judy 2 for 17. Malachi Corley 2 for 17. Jerome Ford 2 for 10. 1 for 9. Sampson 1 for 4. Blake Hart with a fumble. And Larvin 0 for 0. Hey. Defensively, Miles got back in the sack department. Grant Delpit with a sack and a TFL. Miles Harden with a TFL. Jerome Baker with a sack and a TFL. Mason Graham with a TFL. That could have been a sack, but they didn't give it to him. Miles, two TFLs with a sack. Donovan McMillan got a sack and a TFL. Isaiah McGuire, TFL. And then three picks. I think who had them? Rashawn Jenkins had a pick. Ronnie Hickman had a pick, and Tyson Campbell pick six. And then also they forced a fumble on a kickoff return, picked up by Rashawn Jenkins. So he had a hell of a fucking game. Um, Yeah. So all around game by the Browns. I think one their most all around game of the season, obviously. They started this game off by getting the ball first, which is surprising because we usually a defer team. I guess Stefanski wanted to, get some momentum offensively and set the tone. He didn't. Three and out, they only got 7 yards. And then the Dolphins ended up punting and got 7 yards. Uh, and then the next drive, the Browns got a field goal. I think a lot of that was aided by penalty. It was a couple of penalties that extended this drive. And then I think Devon Achane ripped off a long run. He had 82 yards, but he only had two in the second half. He had 80 at halftime, two in the second half. So the Browns did a lot better job in the second half. And he helped them on a long run. I think it was like 40 something yards and got a field goal out of it. Then uh, the next drive, let's see. Oh yeah. The next drive, the Browns drove a little bit. Dylan Gabriel had a pick that was called back due to I think it was roughing the passer. Oh, sorry, defensive pass interference. So automatic first down. Then Quinshon Judkins 46-yard run for a tug. This is like He had this long run. He had the long run against Minnesota. He had the long run against um, the Baltimore Ravens at the end of the game. He's more explosive than I thought. So he has a little bit of breakaway speed. He ain't gonna burn everybody, but he put a move on on Micah Fitzpatrick, who had flashbacks to Nick Chubb, and they got that ball, and he took it to the crib. Immediately after that, they fumbled on the kickoff. I think Dale Pitt forced the fumble. Dale Pitt forced the fumble. He had a sack. He had a TFL. He had a great game. He forced the fumble recovered by Rayshawn Jenkins, and then 10 plays, 46 yards later, the Browns scored again. Quinshawn Judkins went up the middle. They started driving, and they went. It was some penalties here. But they went, hey, they got down to the goal line. They weren't fucking around. Kevin said, hey, we don't even need a quarterback again. They took Dylan Gabriel out, ran back to back Wildcats. And I don't know if this was the one. I think this might have been the one where he bobbled the snap. He being Quinshawn Judkins bobbled it and got in for the touchdown. So good job there. And then towards the end of the first half, the Dolphins were basically dead to right. And then they got like a long third and 30, third and or second and 23 because the Browns went blitz, got or blitz. got them to like a second and 23. They got a long run from Achan for like 24 yards. And then they got down. They were going to kick a field goal. They missed the field goal, but Shelby Harris got called for interfering with the long snapper. Then they eventually ended up getting a field goal. So it was 17-6. 17, we don't average 17 a game, so that was fire. So 17 to 6 at halftime. And then right after that, coming right out of halftime, first play of the half, pick six by my dog, who I can't remember his name. Tyson Campbell, pick six. The ball went off somebody's hands. He caught it, tiptoed down the sideline, brought it back in, touchdown. Hey, obviously, it's a week to week thing. It takes a body of work. But this week, he had a better week than Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome got a touchdown on him today from Devontae Adams, who had three of them things. But pick six, floodgates are open, 24-6. And then there was just a little bit of back and forth, some punting. You saw some stuff. Miles Garrett ended up getting a sack. A couple of guys ended up getting right. And then what else happened? Oh, the Browns backed them up in their own territory, and then Tua threw a pick to Rayshon Jenkins, which he could have scored on. He could have scored on that touchdown. But he cut it back inside. If he ran to the pylon, he probably wins. But he got it down to like the two. They said so the Browns did it again. It was like, hey man, we ain't fooling around. We're gonna go back and do this doggone we're gonna run that bitch again with Quinshon Judkins. One play, 2 yards, direct snap, touchdown. And then Tua came out again, threw a pick to Ronnie Hickman. And then after that, Tua gets pulled for the remaining, what was it? Remaining like, I don't know, 10 minutes of the game. And then they punting back and forth to the end of the game, whatever, whatever. uh Main shotgun takeaways from this game. The defense was shaky in the first half, although they only gave up 6 points. The second half, they brought the intensity. Uh, what was that? Four turnovers. Four turnovers. They scored a touchdown. They had two or three sacks. Miles got back on the board. Mason Graham was all over the field, did some good things defensively. Uh, Also, Carson Schwarzenegger made a couple of big plays, big hits. Grant Delpit is playing probably his best ball since 23, where he earned his extension. Um, He's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Malik Collins made a couple of plays. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Carson Schwarzenegger made a couple of plays. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Miles Garrett made a couple of plays. You know he's an all pro kind of guy. So the defense turned it around in the second half. So they did a good job of that. We'll see if that travels next week. They're going to play a better quarterback and a better team in the New England Patriots with Drake May, who's lighting it up right now. But to stay on this win, offensively, Dylan Gabriel did what you asked him to do. Bad conditions. He didn't turn the ball over, although he did throw a pick that got overturned. And he puts the ball, he tried to fit in some tight windows, which first better teams are going to get him in trouble or it's going to be 50-50. We'll see how they play out. He threw one to Judy that went through the hands of Rasul Douglas, and Judy made the catch. So we'll see. Hopefully, it'll be better weather next week, and we'll see how that turns out. They're going to New England, so we'll see if they bring the same type of energy. It's 5-2 football team. But once again, to stay on where we are, our feet here today. Uh, Defense second half played very well. Like I said, Dylan Gabriel did what you asked him to do, didn't turn it over, handed the ball off, made a couple of throws, a couple of intermediate throws. They didn't, I don't even think they attempted anything down the field, but once again, only 18 uh, passing attempts. He ran it a few times when I feel like he needed to run it. Showed we did more of those boots. Kevin did a really good job of dialing up a few screens. We saw like a double barrel back look where he like motioned both guys, where he like motioned Dylan Sampson out and handed it. Then I think he motioned Sampson out. Then he motioned uh then he motioned Judkins and handed it to him. And it came back the next play, motioned Sampson out, and then they ran a screen, like a middle screen, they brought Corley back in. So the first half he was kind of in his Duffy. I like seeing him being experimental and being different and switching it up. If he continues to do that, I think the offense could be a little bit better. We're not 30 points a game, but maybe we can get to 20, which isn't asking for a whole lot. So good job on him with that. Not as aggressive in the second half, but it really I think it was more so like, hey, we got the lead. Let's just not fuck it up. Um, Drops wasn't so bad today. Obviously, only had 18 passing attempts. I think Larvin dropped one. I don't know who else. It doesn't seem like it was a lot. Judy didn't get the ball a lot. I don't know how many targets do he have today. I think he only had like three. Judy had 4 targets today. 2 catches, 4 targets, 5 targets for Fanning. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot to go around, but good job by Dylan and Gabriel for doing what you asked him to do. Uh, Next week you're going to ask more of him. The ground game wasn't efficient. 33 carries, 104 yards, so it's like 3.2 a pop. Got to be better there. We'll see how that goes. But shoot, they held Tua. Tua had 3 fumbles and 3 picks. 12 or 23, 100 yards, 3 picks. So they did a really good job on him. Uh, like I said, Achan had 6.3 a pop, but it was like 11 a pop at halftime. So good job of minimizing that. No other running back was really effective there. In the pass game, Waddle 1 for 15, not a whole lot. Uh, yeah. So good job by the Browns, man. Good job by the Browns defense for turning it around. 'Cause the first half they looked a little susceptible. Then they started getting turnovers, playing fast. Miles Garrett got to play with a lead, so you saw those ends tee off. Alex Wright, where's his stat? Alex Wright was all over the field. They got him for 2 TFLs, 5 tackles. He was in the backfield all day. Um, Him, Mason Graham, and Malik Collins. They just in the backfield playing really good ball. That needs to travel. But yeah, shout out to Kevin Stefanski. Shout out to this defense. Shout out to Jim Schwartz. A lot of tendency breakers, blitzing more than he normally does. Exotic blitzes, simulated pressures. I love that. I love that. Hey man, keep being creative. Like if this team, Kevin on offense and Schwartz on defense, can just be creative and not be so predictable, then I'll be happy with whatever the turnout is. Because like you're trying something new, you understand that what you were doing before is not working. Because Schwartz want to just straight up go play ball, which we got the Joes to do it, but it becomes predictable, and then that's when like good offensive coordinators figure you out. We can't have that. So keep being diverse. They said Miles to get asked for it. That's a leader type of thing to do. Keep that up, Miles. But yeah, we'll just continue to see how that goes. Big win, big dub. I'll have some more videos on it detailing this a little bit later. But shout out to them boys, man. Big dubs, W in the chat. Go Browns.